and good
Good
morning.
morning.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So, let's begin our session with a wonderful quote. No matter who you are and what you do, your manners will have direct impact on your professional and social success. Good morning. So, for starting a new chapter of learning, I, Venkata Hemant, being your host for today's event, wants to extend a warm greetings and good morning to all of you present here. I hope you all are doing amazing. On behalf of today's the whole SEMS family, I welcome you all for the today's international webinar on the important fundamental rights and duties as citizens. And to add our guest of honor and today's speaker, Ms. Nehal. It is great honor to have you with us. We are grateful for your presence. Also, I see quite a number of people joining us. Before I proceed, let me take a moment to introduce of my organization. SEMS Welfare Foundation is a non-profit entity established to work in the areas of education, social welfare, women empowerment, skill development, and entrepreneurship, livelihood generation and employability, health, research, culture, international cooperation, sports, environment protection, or any other similar sectors. We promote healthy lives, a balanced and active community, and a strong business. Now, let me introduce today's speaker to you all. She has completed her graduation in BCom and done diploma in VFX, design and visual communications. She is image consultant and soft skills trainer. Her goal is to help people accomplish their goals through their visual communication by mastering the ABCD of image, appearance, behavior, nonverbal communication, including body language and etiquette, communication, and digital presence. She loved to help people on their journey through an inside out transformation and create a life changing experience.
Thank you so much, Heyman. Thank you for that amazing introduction. Thank you. And who all I missed to wish good morning. Good morning, all of you all. Welcome aboard. And I promise you, I won't bore you with too much of technical knowledge today. It will be an amazing session. So please be with me. And I would love if you all interact more with me because I would not want it to be just one side communication. Because when it's communication, it should be two ways, right? So if I keep sharing, it'll be just coming from one person. But if we all share, it will be like from 20 people, and that will be a huge wisdom harvest, right? So good morning, all of you all, and let's begin today's session. Hemant has already given my introduction, so I won't speak anything about that. One thing is, I'm really passionate about helping people and making them a better version of themselves. So that is what we are here for today. And a pat on your back for being here on a Saturday morning. You're not you're not sleeping at your home, so really a round of applause for that. So without further ado, let's start today's session. So I would like you to ask you all a question. When you hear about communication, is it only what we say, or there is something more to it? Do we communicate from all five of our senses, or is it just what we say through our mouth? Anyone would like to say something about it? Yes, Anju. Yes.
Mom, gestures.
Yes, that's a very good point. Thank you. Anyone else would like to add to it?
And like sharing of information between different individuals.
Yes, I am. Thank you for that. So let me give you an example. If you see a cold drink bottle in front of you with a lot of condensation, will you know that, okay, this is cold? Or if you see a coffee mug with steam coming out, will you know that this is hot? Yeah, that is visual
Yes,
communication.
mom.
You can even know by seeing. And this is what most of us do. Okay, let me ask you a question. You can put your answers in the chat box. Whenever you meet a stranger, the first encounter with them, the first impression which you form, what do you observe in that person? And I guarantee you it will be different for every one of us. Let's put the answers in the chat box. What is the first thing you observe in a person when you see them? A stranger. Okay, body language. Keep the answers coming. Dressing. Okay. Outfit. Yes. Thank you. Expression. Thank you. Attitude. Yes. More answers? That's all? Okay, perfect. So if you see from your answers, most of you all have spoken about the visual communication or the non-verbal communication. And this happens even before we start talking. And this is what I wanted to tell you today. In our communication, only 7% of the role is played by the verbal communication or what we speak, the word. Okay. 38% of the weightage lies on the vocal communication or how we speak. How am I speaking? My pitch, my tone, my speed, my pauses. All this is a part of my vocal communication. And 55% of the weightage lies on non-verbal communication. And what is non-verbal communication all about is what you have put here. It's body language, it's your dressing, it's your appearance. All this is your non-verbal communication. And you have put bang on points. You see, this is what communicates the most, and this is what we miss out on. So now, when I talk about appearance, it is not only the clothes that we wear, it's more to it. Okay. The way we take care of ourselves, our skin, our hair, the grooming part, how we keep our nails. People even see our nails. Okay. Then our shoes, the footwear we wear. Many people judge us by our footwear. So you see, people are seeing different things in you. We notice different things, and so it is so important to be on point so that our focus is not on our appearance but on the occasion. And that is why it is so important to be on point. Okay. Now, vocal communication, I already spoke about what all points come there, and verbal is your vocabulary. So when we work on all these, we give 100% in our communication. Okay. And that is how a first impression is formed. And I am a believer that first impression is not the last impression, but lasting for sure. Okay. So we need to work on all these three aspects. And now, with the rise in social media and digital space, we also have the digital presence, how we create our social presence. That is the new D now. So there are ABCD of communication. Okay. So that being said, let's see ABC in detail. So let's come to the A part first. That is our appearance. So when you are in a formal space, we need to be very careful of what we are wearing because clothes definitely send out messages. Whatever we wear is sending out messages to others, just like we saw about the visual communication or the non-verbal communication. So in a casual space, we should be careful and not wear very casual clothes when we are in a formal place. And if we dress as per the occasion, we must take care of the fabrics we are wearing. In summers, we can wear cottons. In winters, we can wear thick woolen. In India, we don't have, especially down part. In North India, we do have cold, but here we can use the layering technique in so that you don't have to put invest too much money in your woolen clothes. You can use layering when there is cold. Then be careful about the type of colors you wear in which season. Then when you are in a formal place, we should try to avoid wearing floral prints, polka dots, because these are very casual prints. If you can go for solids, those are the highest authority. Then pinstripes, pin dots, these are also very geometric prints, work well in the formal place. So these are a few tips about appearance. Today, our main focus is on etiquette. So I'll be focusing there more, but I'll give you a few tips about the ABC in general. Now, in appearance, it's not only the clothes, like I said earlier, it is also how we maintain ourselves. So have a self-care routine where you take care of yourself. It's very important because you cannot pour from an empty bottle. You have to take care of yourself first, and only then you can give others. So take that time for yourself. Have a self-care routine where you take care of your skin, your health, your hair, your nails, your grooming part. All this is really important. And yeah, people do notice different things. So be careful about that. And also, there's some people are very sensitive to smells. So that is also something we need to really take care about our body smell, because that also communicates. So these are the points about appearance. Now let's come to the B part, which is body language. Now, our body language includes our behavior, our etiquette. Everything comes in body language. So when it comes to body language, Would you like to say a few things? What do you observe or what you do not like when it comes to body language of somebody? Anyone? All right. So, the first tip I would like to give under body language is to keep an open body language. If I'm sitting here folding my hands, nobody will feel like talking or connecting to me, right? Because I'm closed. I have created a physical barrier here. So even when you're sitting at a meeting table, don't cross your hands and put them on the table. Be open. Keep them on the armrest of the chair. Okay. Or keep them on your lap, but not cross like this because that closes and the communicator in front of you will not feel very easygoing communicating with you. So that is one tip. The other tip is don't cross your legs also because they are also sending the same message when you cross them. After that, avoid fidgeting. So sometimes unknowingly we do this. We tap our hands, our fingers on the table, or we just keep move shaking our legs. So these things are something where we need to be very mindful. And yes, mindfulness is really important here because unless we know what we are doing, we will not be able to correct it, right? And people are observing us again. Sometimes we have this habit of playing with a pen, so that shows a little bit of nervousness. Even shaking of legs shows the same thing. So these places are something where we need to be really careful about. Okay. So that is the first point in body language. The second point is proxemics. Proxemics is a study of space. So sometimes what happens is unknowingly we might go too close to somebody and that person might go back because they are not comfortable. The reason is we all have a personal space, a private space. Okay. If some unknown person invades that space, we would go in that fight or flight mode. Okay, that is just in our brain and it just happens naturally because that is how we have been evolved. Okay, either if you see a threat, you either freeze, you try to fight if you think you can fight, or you just run away from there. That is the coping mechanism. So we should be mindful about the personal space of a person. There is a private space which is just for the closest people like our parents or our spouses. Then there is a personal space which is for our friends or the people or other relatives which are closer to us. Then the further we go, there is a social space and then there is a public space. So we should be really careful about which space to be in. And yeah, we should always maintain a 1 arm length distance to anybody. And that is why the handshakes also maintain arm's length distance. So that is the closest we can go in a formal situation. Now, coming to handshake, there are a few tips I would like to share. I'll also show you a video in some time. So, when we are giving a handshake, the first thing is eye contact. We should maintain a good eye contact. Now, even coming to eye contact, I would like, so it should not be constantly staring in a person's eye. Okay. Our eyes will definitely move. I mean, it's not possible and it's very intimidating to look straight into a person's eye. So if you see this triangle right from here to my eyes, okay, this area, this is a power gaze. So if you look at somebody in this area, it will show a lot of authority and it will show dominance that you're trying to dominate that person. So you have to be very careful when you use this gaze, definitely not with your seniors. Okay. And then there is something called as a social gaze. So social gaze is this zone. Okay. So this is the safest place to maintain eye contact. So when you're tired, you can look a little down and then get your eyes up again. So this is the social gaze, which is going to work the best when you are with somebody in a social space or even in the professional space. So be careful about your eye contact. Then smile. Smile will make you more approachable and people will connect with you instantly if you have that smile on your face. Then yeah, we spoke about eye contact, smile. Then how do you extend your hand? It should not be like this. This shows authority, this shows dominating. Okay. And it should not be like this also. Your hand should not go like this for a handshake. This shows submission. You are very submissive, and we don't want to give that message to anybody. Okay, it should be just like this. Okay, and it should be from the elbow. Your hand should move from the elbows. So that is how a handshake should be. Again, the force you apply should be very mindful about that. You should observe the force the other person is using and try to match that pressure. Okay, if you are shaking your hands too tight, they will just take their hands away. Okay, that's a bone crusher. And if it's too loose, it's very limp, people will feel you are very underconfident, so you don't want to give that message as well. It should be just perfectly firm, and it should be web to web. Okay, this is the web of your hand. This web should meet the other person's web, and give three pumps. One, two, three, done. Okay, that is how your handshake should be. And once your handshake begins, you give your introduction, and once your handshake ends, your name should be already conveyed. So that is how you perform a handshake. Does anyone have any questions here in handshake? Because this is what you will be using the most, and you will be creating your first impression with whenever you're going to meet a new person. All good, everyone? Okay, so let me just share my screen. I would like to show the video of handshake. Really need to avoid. Okay, for example, when you are in a public space, you would not want to talk about religion, caste, politics is a big no. You don't go into that topic at all. Then gender based talks, all these things are really to be avoided, because these may lead to this might create tension among others, and these are not very good or safe topics to go ahead with. So a few topics which you can so there are sometimes we get confused, right? Okay, this is a new person, I don't know this person, what should I talk about? So go for general topics, ask them about their hobbies. Okay, if they say I love to travel, and maybe you also love to travel, find some common topic and then speak about it. So you can ask, okay, which is the latest place you have been to, or which is the most favorite place you have been to? Are you a mountain person? Are you a beach person? Then you can talk about book, you can talk about a movie, you can talk about food. There are so many topics which you can talk about, but just there are certain topics we need to be away from. That being said, always have an elevator pitch ready for yourself. Whenever you meet a stranger, there should be so imagine you are in an elevator and you meet somebody and that person is a stranger and you just have a few floors together. So in that time, how much can you speak about yourself? It should be just crisp and clear. So, and remember that is the time when you both will be exchanging about yourself. So it is the half time you will be getting. So keep an elevator pitch ready for yourself so that whenever you meet somebody, you can just tell what you do and about yourself in just 2 to 3 lines. So these are a few tips which I wanted to share. Now, Sakshi, we can take the Q&A round.
Yeah, few questions are there on the YouTube channel which I want to carry forward.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, as you told about the etiquettes and the whatever the body posture we should carry on in a formal place or the workplace, is it required that we should be always in a formal, like Saturdays or the weekdays? They generally used to have a semi-formal dress up. So is it
Yes.
compulsory to be in the semi-formal also in a formal full-faced, or it can be casual?
Okay. So I would love to take this question up because there's a lot of confusion about office formal and the casual wear, office casual. So when you're in an office, you should prefer smart casuals. Okay. So especially the Friday dressing, which we talk about, and if you are working on a Saturday as well, I would say don't go with a jeans and a t-shirt with a crew neck. Rather, if you want to wear a t-shirt, wear a polo neck, which has a collar, and wear chinos and not jeans because denims are very, very casual, and you should avoid wearing denims at the workplace because you know what happens. Whatever we wear has a psychological effect on us. So it's both ways. What outside in and inside out. So both work hand in hand. So if we are wearing very casual, we'll have a very casual attitude at our workplace. And that is something we do not want to have or portray. So that is why I would suggest avoid very casual, wear smart casual for sure. That works.
Okay. The another question is that if we are not willing to do a handshake to a person and it is being offered from the other side, then what should we do or how we should appear ourselves?
Thank you. So I would like to say two things here. The first thing is etiquette is all about making others comfortable around us. Okay. So if somebody is offering you a handshake, you should shake the hand. Okay. And now let's come to the other person's side. If that person is see, firstly, that person should think whether this person would be comfortable or not. Now that person did not think about it. So the only thing we can do is shake their hand. And we need to be very careful in cross-cultural situations, especially in certain countries like Middle East, women don't shake hands. So if you are at such a place, or even in some parts of the world, women might not prefer shaking hands. So you should be very mindful and let them initiate the handshake. You don't initiate. So these are the few things which we really need to be mindful about. But if somebody is extending their hand, we need to shake their hand.
Okay. Thank you so much, Neil, for your wonderful session and wonderful knowledge to the audience. I hope they really enjoyed and it's going to be a fruitful and being a part of their education, their career also.
Thank you so much, Sakshi. And I'm so glad and I'm so thankful to all of you all to give me this opportunity to make a small difference if I could. And thank you so much. And I wish all the best to all of you all for your future endeavors. It
Thank
was
you, Neil.
really great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, audience, for joining with us.